YOLO emotional people of YouTube. So today I want to talk to you guys about depression, man. In my case, I've had depression, man, for like half my life, like severely, Somehow it went away. It went away a few years ago, But I'm slowly realizing that I'm kind of falling back into it. And it's a weird thing to not be in depression, but feel as if though I'm relapsing back into it, I had a conversation with my mom recently, of which I don't have very many. And the conversation was simply about, I was just talking to her about her life and her health and how she needs to take care of herself and put herself first. Somehow, just through conversing, the conversation went to me. I think I made an example, and I told her, no matter all the crazy shit that I've gone through in my life, everything from being a kid all the way to the present, I told her no matter how fucked up things are, or how fucked up things were, or the situations or whatever, I've never felt any type of jealousy towards other people, like I've never felt like, man, I don't want to trade my life for, like, I'd love to have this person's life, and just anybody, right? From people you know or people you don't know, it don't matter, Now, she gave me a really weird response back. She gave me a response saying like, well, I was kind of worried that because of your upbringing that you might feel as if your life could have been a lot better, and I was always worried that that you might actually feel that way, that you wish your life was easier or was as if it was someone else's, right? Like that had it a lot easier, for example. And I remember, and I'm telling her, no matter what, like, life is cruel to us all. It's not like life's been cruel to me and just me. Like, life's been cruel to us all. No matter who puts on what face, everyone goes through something, and I've seen everybody go through things. And because of the personality I have, because I know how to keep secrets, because I'm not a jealous person, because people can confide in me, and they do a lot of the time. So I know a lot of the inner workings and the inner issues a lot of the people have, and it's like my issues are mine and their issues are theirs. And being a friend, or being a good friend, or being a good relative, you put your wants and needs to the side, and you help your friend, right? Regardless of what's happening, you help them out with their best intentions in mind, And this is something where your actions just speak for themselves, and it's not something you need to remind people or smear their face in it, or none of that. It's like you did it, good for you, move on, don't bring it up. But people remember those things, when they're down, and people help them out, Now, the depression thing, man, it's really fucked up, man. I think one of the worst things about depression is that no one really understands it unless they've been in it. You know, they just don't get it. They don't understand the struggle that comes with it, you know? And it's weird, man. Like, I guess because of all the craziness in my life, I kind of gravitate towards extreme excitement, you know? It takes a lot to, like, make me happy, you know? Because everything has always been so extreme, from the events to whatever. It's always been, like, really far left or far right. And it's rare that I've been just cruising, like right now, just like on cruise control, where something heavy isn't severely lingering over me, or I'm not in some fucking crazy mess or some shit, you know? But that creates another problem of what, like, you know, when it comes time to get happy, it takes a lot, you know? It takes a lot because you're just so used to extremes, you know? And that kind of gets in the way of relationships, in the way of you and your happiness, and all these things. And it gets in the way of it because I can't just be like a regular person and, let's say, just, you know, go have coffee with some girl and I'm happy, you know? Like, it takes so much, you know? And I'm aware of it. Even though I'm aware of it, I still cannot help it, you know? It is what it is. And but I've just been noticing that, like, I'm slowly drifting back into the depression, man. And it's a weird thing, man. Depression, you get addicted to it. You get addicted to depression, because it is an emotion, and it's a very strong emotion. And because it's a very strong emotion, I think your body releases, like, weird chemicals, or it doesn't release certain chemicals, right? And you kind of get used to that. It's kind of like a high, you know? Because you can get addicted to any emotion. It's really weird, you know? You're literally, how can I say, you take comfort in the pain. It's such a weird thing to say, but there's like this comfort zone of you know what it is, and as fucked up as it is, you're still addicted to it, you know? It's like people that are addicted to drama, right? People that are addicted to pain, people that are, you know, there's so many emotions, people are literally addicted to it. So the depression thing, man, is like the thought process, because I was in it for like 15 years, you know? The thought process has stayed, you know? Even though I've tried making adjustments, but it's kind of become like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks type of thing. The thought process of being in depression, that's lingered with me permanently, like a part of my personality. And for someone that's never been in depression, if I could try and convey what that thought process is like, right? It's I think so I'm gonna bring movie examples. because there's a few movies that really touch on it and really hit home with it, you know. If you've ever seen Interview with the Vampire with Brad Pitt and whoever, right? So before Brad Pitt becomes a vampire, you know, he loses his wife, and you know, he owns slaves and stuff like that. And then he suddenly becomes suicidal, and what he says is like, the wine has no effect. It's the food has no taste. You know, life has lost color. You know, pretty much, and it really does become that way. Life becomes very gray. It becomes very gray in a weird way. You can't get enjoyment out of things that normal people get enjoyment out of. You don't see it. All your emotions are really turned up or turned down in a really weird way. So it's very hard for you to see the beauty in things, you know? Even things that you used to like, they just don't tickle your bone like that, you know? Another movie is one of the Batman movies where that cop is supposed to be Robin, right? I think it's The Night Rises or something like that. Batman, I think it's the one with Bane. And Robin, that young cop, he comes and he goes, you know, like, I was in the orphanage and whatnot, and you know, Bruce Wayne, like, boy millionaire, like, had no parents, you know, and we really made stories about you and whatnot. And he's like, but I knew that those weren't stories, it was really you. And I knew it because you had the same mask on that I was wearing, you know. And he goes, you know, it took me a while to figure it out, but you know, I finally did that. You have to just practice smiling in the mirror, you know, wearing the mask. And he goes, people understand, you know, they understand to a point, but after a while, you know, they want that boy to do something that he knows he can't do, which is, you know, get his fucking life together, right? And it's that thing of like, people have patience, but people don't have understanding, you know. It's a different thing. And I feel for people that are in depression, man. Just because I was in it for so long. I don't know how the fuck I survived it, but I did. Probably survived it because all the other fucking crazy shit that was happening around me all the time, you know? But yeah, I kind of wanted to make this video just for myself in a weird way, you know? Like, I post a lot of weird stuff on YouTube. Not too many people watching and stuff, but I really don't give a fuck, you know? I post up my shit, and this is more like my personal log. You know, it's my personal log, and you're able to view it if you want to view it, and if you don't, that's fine too. But it's me trying to document just all the shit, you know, and I try to keep it as PG as possible, you know. Try not to offend too many people out there, you know, but people are easily offended, so that part, it is what it is. But one thing that the depression seemed to have caused is bad memory with me. And because there's so many events that are in the extremes, it's hard to remember it's hard to remember a lot of the shit. Because it's just like, which one do you remember, you know? And then you have to live your life at the same time, and then basically your memory is fucked. You know, your memory is pretty fucked. At least mine is, you know, in a weird way. Because I have great memory and I have very horrific memory at the same time. Like, I can remember certain things, and it's weird because I can't really pick and choose what I remember, but when I do remember, like, I'll remember the conversation word for word. I don't care how long it is. Like, you said this, these are the words you used, and I said this, you know, or whatever the situation. Like, I'll remember it in fucking vivid detail, and then there's other times that it's something really important that no one else would forget. Like, there's no way people would forget it, and I have no recollection of it. It's just gone, poof, you know. Like, literally the next day, it's gone. Like, it never happened. And I guess that's you know, your brain kind of protecting itself from itself in a weird way, right? So yeah, the depression thing, man. It's that clarity, man. That clarity is really addicting too, man. The clarity of when you're in the depression and how clear you see everything. Like, you see it for what it really fucking is, no matter what it is. You know, it's really weird when your emotions aren't attached to something, how clearly you see through shit, and you see what's behind it and whatnot, you know. And but the really horrific part of depression is the emotional pain, man. It's like, it's an overwhelming weight. Oh, and like that, just, it's this weight that you're just slugging around, man, and it's so heavy that it doesn't want to make you do anything, you know. It makes you want to just bask in your own pain, you know. If that makes even fucking sense. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end it at that. Peace.